Hi everybody. So now we will be starting a session for Hive, and this would be our first session, and we will be talking about big data in this session. Okay, so let's start with what is big data. Talking about what is big data. Now, big data, there are several definitions of big data as it is frequently used as an all-encompassing term for everything from genuine data sets to big data technology and big data analytics. Now, big data is a term which is used to describe massive volume of structured and unstructured data. It is so large that it is difficult to process and cannot be handled by utilizing traditional data processing applications. Now, big data. It is an evolving term that describes any voluminous amount of data that might be structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. Now, what is structured, semi-structured, and unstructured? We'll discuss in details when we go further. Now, this has the potential to mine information. Although big data doesn't refer to any specific quantity, the term is used when we speak about petabytes and exabytes of data. Now, big data is a buzzword or a catchphrase which is used to describe the massive volume of structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data, which is so large and difficult to process that it cannot be processed using the traditional database or the software techniques. Now, in most enterprise scenario, the volume of data is too big, or it moves too fast, or it exceeds the current processing capacity. Despite these problems, big data has the potential to help companies to improve the operations and make faster and even more intelligent decisions. Now, big data, as I told you, is an evolving term that describes any voluminous amount of structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data that has the potential to, again, mine the information. So since we are considering the semi-structured, unstructured, and structured data, so they become the different types of big data. Now we'll talk about the different kinds of big data. Coming on to the first one, that is the social unstructured data. Now the unstructured data represents around 80% of the data. It often includes the text and multimedia content. Examples include email messages, word processing documents, videos, photos, audio files, presentations, web pages, and many other kinds of business documents. So unstructured data is everywhere. Now, in fact, most individuals and organizations conduct their lives around the unstructured data, just as we will be considering the other data sets also. But I want you to be sure about the fact and clear about the fact that people in the business world are generally familiar with the types, that is the structured data we will be talking about in the next part. However, unstructured data is a bit, less familiar, not because it is less of it, but because before the technologies like Hadoop and NoSQL, harnessing the unstructured data was not possible. So that was the reason. Moving on to the enterprise structured data. Now, structured data, the data that resides in a fixed field within a record or file, is called the structured data. This includes data contained in relational databases and spreadsheets. Now, for developers, structured data is very common. It concerns all data which can be stored in the database SQL in tables with rows and columns. They have relational key and can be easily mapped into pre-designed fields. So, but structured data represents only 5 to 10% of all informatics data. So this is about the structured data. Now we'll move on to the semi-structured data. The semi-structured data is information that doesn't reside in a relational database, but that have some organizational properties that make it easier to analyze. With some process, you can store them in the relational database, but semi-structure exists to ease the space, clarity, or computation. Now the best examples of the semi-structured data would be your XML file, JSON format, HTML file, or the NoSQL databases. The semi-structured data, but as the structured data, it represents only few parts of data, like 5 to 10% of the data type. So these are the different types of data. So this is about what is big data.